Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a props tour. If you're new here, my name is Chitra. I'm a business owner and content creator, and here on my YouTube channel, I create work week vlogs and also tips and tutorials for content creation. Today, we're going to be going through my props inventory to give you guys a little bit of history on why we have so many props. 6 years ago when I started my business, I was clicking a lot of flat lay pictures, and as time progressed, I started building up a little bit of a collection of items, of books, of candles, of little knickknacks that looked nice in a flat lay. And then for my small business, at the time it was Chance Fleur, and we were a floristry company. We started doing some events, and then we started getting even more inventory. Then Reels came out and we started doing like tutorial videos on how to style your table, how to decorate your home, and then we got even more props. Then I opened my videography studio where we create content for brands, and we got even more props. So right now we have this section right here just filled with props. So this is on level 2 of my office. I also posted an office tour. I'm gonna link it down below if you guys wanna check it out, so you can kind of understand where this shelf is situated. Our office is like a residential home turned photo studio. So this kind of element, I'm assuming it was like a TV cabinet and bookshelves that somebody had, and now obviously it's our prop shelves. So we're gonna go through one by one. It's going to be a long video, so grab your snack, grab your popcorn, grab your drink, and let's go through everything that we have. Let's start off with this bookshelf right over here. This is a Billy bookshelf from IKEA. I'm not a part of this unit, but we've had to add it on since we've had so many little extra items. Up the top, this shelf over here, we have a range of bags. Some of the brands are gifted from brands. Some of the bags are from Zara. Whenever there's a sale, I try to get like anything that looks cool for the prop library. I don't get anything anymore because I feel like we have enough things, and some of them were from Shein way back when. I don't buy anything from Shein anymore, and I don't encourage that either, but they also have like horrible quality bags as well, so they don't look that great in photos. But so yeah, we have a range of little bags here. I have the most expensive piece is probably this one, and if you are anybody on social media or you follow fashion or anything of that kind, this is the Cult Gaia bag that I bought, and bought it because it was trending on social media, but I have personally never used it, or maybe used it only once, just because this bag is so inconvenient to use. I think I brought it one day for a shoot and I just never have taken it back. It's been here for like a few years now, but I might take this back home and try to style it and wear it at home. Another bag that we have here is something like this one, but this is from a brand called Ziva Bags. They gifted us some bags so we could use it in their shoots, and when they gifted us the bags, we did a couple of reels for them in exchange. Ooh, okay. I'm actually gonna take this bag back. I've been looking for this actually everywhere. This is like a little vintage pouch that I thrifted when I used to live in Michigan. It's so cute and it's beaded. I'm actually gonna take this back home. I don't know why it's here. We probably got it in for a shoot, but I've been looking for this one. And it's no designer or anything like that, but it's just like the cutest little vintage piece. We have some sunglasses. These are great for flat lay kind of shoots. Most of these are just like collected over the years. Nothing expensive in here. From Shein, from like just roadside. If I find anything cool, we'll just kind of add it to the shelves. I try to kind of look for neutral but like interesting shapes like this that are just going to add something to a flat lay. We also have here some little paint brushes. This holder is from IKEA, and we have some paint brushes here. And basically we'll use these if we're doing a flat lay or a shoot, just to remove any kind of dust on the product or on the table, and it's just handy to have. I have a couple of little glass perfume bottles here. Anything that's like glass with a little bit of liquid inside it, I find works really nicely for a flat lay because it takes up space in the flat lay. Like, it helps you fill kind of areas. However, it doesn't crowd the place. So we have a couple more. Like, I have some of these Jo Malone Zara perfumes, nothing like super expensive, but they just like, because like this white and glass, they fill up the space nicely, but because it's glass and it's translucent, like, it doesn't crowd the place. We also have some makeup bits and bobs, usually because they have expired or it's broken, not something I can donate or use, and we've just kept them here. Again, they add a little bit of interest just to your flat lays. Like, they have this one here is like, has a little bit of like a texture on the top of the black, and again, it'll just add a little bit of texture to your videos. We have, again, more, I think I got this like free with a purchase or something like that, but just again, just nice to have and kind of take up a little bit of space. This shelf over here, we have like this jewelry case where I've put these rings and some hair clips. Anything that has like that pearl detailing actually like adds a touch of like luxuriousness to a photo, so I really like to have pearl props. We have some in this box over here, some letters. We can use this on a flat lay as well if you want to say something, like message something, or you can use it on like one of those message boards. In this container we have some tassels, and originally these tassels, we used them actually as for like Christmas decorations. They're actually for like when you have Indian outfits, like the tassels at the end, like tie your blouse piece or your skirt or whatever it is. And at the bottom here we have some shoes. So these shoes no longer fit me, and decided to kind of make use of them in props. They're like a variety of different brands, Steve Madden mostly, and then we have a couple of Shein as well. And I think the Shein ones we bought specifically for props, not to wear. We don't shop for props in Shein anymore though. And that is this little shelf right over here. Let's have a look at this one here. So at the top over there, we have more of these big lanterns. We use them for events previously, and then also for tutorial shoots. We also again have all of these vases here and some more vases here. We use these for events, and then when we had like hotel partnerships, so we used to do flowers at hotels, we don't really use them as much anymore. We don't really use them as much anymore for shoots or anything like that, just because they're just really big and we don't have bigger shoots. Most of the products we work with are rather small. So I might get rid of them. I'm not sure, because right now there's like not that much use for them. In this shelf over here, we have more of these. These are actually from IKEA. They're like the little votive candle holders. They're a little bit dirty. As you guys can see, we should kind of get these cleaned, I think. You can pour hot water, a little bit of dish soap, and they will clean really nicely. But these were, again, when we had events, like they look really beautiful on tables if you just kind of littered the tables with something like this. We have some more candle holders here. These are like a little bit taller, and you can see like it comes up a little bit, so it kind of like covers the flame. Sometimes when we worked with certain like clients, they had a requirement that they couldn't be an open flame, so we had things like this. Or sometimes we would even just put like LED candles in them. For a lot of hotels and corporate events, that was a requirement. Next section, right at the top here, we have this big blue round kind of a vase. We have some wooden boards here, again, that we use for our coffee client, and it's just like a fantastic little piece to have for flat lay styling. A bottle of unopened champagne, which we use again for a lot of flat lay shoots and also for a lot of client videos. We have some plates over here. Some of these are from IKEA. Some of these are set by different brands, but they work really well, and we use them when we're doing like table arrangement shoots for clients as well as for our own brand as well. Again, we have some more over here. These blue plates, I don't think we've actually ever used them, but they're from my home. They were gifted to me like when I first moved to India, and I actually like just haven't really used them. Like the blue color is not my kind of thing. So I brought them into the office and we use them if we do ever have like a similar shoot. At the bottom here, we have like a few like resin kind of pieces that were sent to us by different small businesses to create content for them. We have some of these mirror plates, and we use them as chargers. So what a charger plate is that you have your table, your charger plate, which is this, and then your dinner plate, instead of having a placemat for events. And we actually just got these made so we could use them for our shoots. These were not for events, and we have them in gold, rose gold, and silver. We also have some cute little coasters and things like that here as well for our table shoots. We're gonna move on to the next shelf here. Again, in this shelf at the top and on this middle section, we have some more vases, these vases that we use for our events. And these glass vases, they actually look with like a pillar candle. They look really stunning if you have a few of them, and you can line like your like sides or your table along the wall, on the floor. They look really nice, and you can do like a variety of different sizes as well. Down the bottom here is actually an interesting shelf. Here we have a bunch of different spices. This is mostly for a client called EGA Wellness, and we did a bunch of reels for them for like content creation purposes. And then we have basically for their reels, we have to show like what their products are made of. So they use a lot of like organic spices, like in their whole form, and they grind them down. We have a bunch of those for the shoot. Another interesting little object that we have here is this little acrylic Ganesh cutout. And basically we use this as like a product for Chance Fleur. There was like flowers, a bed of flowers, and this was on top, and this is for like the Ganesh Chaturthi event, puja, festival, however you want to say it. We also have lots of cans of this fake snow that we bought for like a flat lay shoot or something. I think it was. It's actually quite old. I'll kind of see if it still works maybe. And here we go. That is this shelf over here. I'll check out what we have at the bottom. At the bottom over here is again some products that are like I am so like passionate about, and they didn't work out. These are our tapered candles, and I love these things so much. I was so passionate about launching these. We launched them mid-COVID, I think, and they did not bad. They did pretty well. However, the price point for them was just so high because we wanted these like kind of trendy colors. So we had like this terracotta, we had like 3 kinds of blush pink, etc. The vendor who was making them for us couldn't get the coloring right. We spent a lot of money on sampling, and then the packaging for these also cost a bomb. And at the end of the day, like we couldn't continue production on them because they weren't selling out as fast as we wanted them to, and like the money we were putting into them, we weren't getting it back as fast, which meant money was being tied up in these. Actually, we have a lot of pieces left for our like that we just used for shoots and stuff. There were 2 like maybe damaged or something like that, and we couldn't sell them, or we had already used them for events. And again, if I had another shot at like having another product-based business, I would invest it maybe into a candle business, just because it's just something that I'm so in love with and I'm so passionate about, and I'm so disappointed that it didn't work out this time. We also had matching candle holders that worked with these candles. This is like a sample that the vendor made us. If you notice, this is just like so much thicker than those other candles, and they didn't fit into our candle stand, so she did like this kind of contraption. But these are made with beeswax, and we actually had a celebrity that had ordered a bunch of our candles, and then she requested for something like this. So we went ahead and we did like a sample for her. She didn't really like them, and we kind of never moved forward with it. But I wanted to create this like twisted braided candle, like tapered candle, and again, something that didn't work. Still feel really passionate about it, but I wish it would be my dream to have a candle company. This section over here, we have a few more props, but let's open it up. Right over here, we have some products from the company that we're creating content for, EGA Wellness. Then we have, I think, a few more of their products, and then we have some tea. All right, we had to take a small break because a baby woke up and she needed to be fed. Back to our tour. Over here, we have some products from EGA Wellness. They're a client of ours. We've worked with them 2 times over like a couple of months, and each time we create like 10 to 12 reels for them. I love working with clients where we get to do like a lot of reels, because then we can really invest in researching and developing kind of a story for them. They wanted a lot of like stop motion and kind of how to use their products, and we just have a few of them left. Hopefully we get to work with them again and we can reuse some of these products then as well. Over here we have some more of their products, and then down the bottom we have some of the clay diyas that we use for Diwali looks or like festive, like traditional looks. One of our very first clients was a client called Coffee Brewing Co. And fun fact, when we first started posting like tutorial-based content in 2021, this is what happened. For our business Chance Fleur, we made like a post that we're supporting small businesses. We're gonna create some content for small business or give you guys a shout out. So send us your products and we'll give you a shout out. And we gave Coffee Brewing Co. a shout out, and we created like a reel for them, which for us, like that was our first viral reel. And then from there we started creating more BTS transition videos, and now this is where we are. So that's like really kind of where it all started. And afterwards, when we started taking on clients for content creation, Coffee Brewing Co. was one of our first ever clients, and we worked with them for a period of 3 months, and I think we did like 15 reels per month, which was brutal but also just so much fun. And because of that collaboration, we have a lot of like coffee items here. So like little things like this pouring mug. We have like these Pyrex pouring cups. We have other like things like a Vietnamese coffee maker there, and like a filter coffee. We have a French press. Over on this side here, we have some brass like pots and things, vases that we use for our shoots. We have some like wine goblets there. And then over here, we have a completely unused candle. It smells so good. This is the bergamot waters from, what's this called? Body and Bath Works, I think it is. I keep thinking it's Bed Bath and Beyond, but it's not. But I really, really like this, and I'm gonna take this as well. No, there's more over here.
Size.
Crazies. Guys, there's so many here. Yeah.
That's for like news.
Over here, we also have like this wooden block. I was trying to make some props for photo shoots. And we tried to kind of do this. I tried to sand it down and get those like little blocks that you have for shoots, and obviously it really didn't work. I still have to kind of figure out where to get these blocks from for photo shoots. So I'm gonna just close this over here. We have this rotating table here. This is actually like a cake table, but we use this for some of our shoots to get really nice rotating shots. We will one day get like one of those remote controlled automatic ones, but for right now, this is what we have. We also have some golden cutlery, again for when we used to do table styling, or we actually still do table styling. We have another rotating cake thing here, but this one is not as smooth. It's like a little bit bumpy, and I find that the marble one just works so much better. This is actually a book that I designed on Canva, and then I got it printed locally. We used to take this book when we used to meet clients or when we used to go to expos, and it has like basically a range of our different work. I didn't like to rely on like showing things on an iPad or something like that. I felt like just having a book was really nice, and it just shows like a range of like the things that we can do, some of the like our products that we already had, and yeah, I totally forgot we had this. So a really nice memory, and we're gonna get it maybe just cleaned up and like put somewhere nicely here, so like we can have like some memories of like my first brand. Next shelf over here, we have some terracotta items there. This is when I was really into that really neutral brown look, and we created a lot of fun looks with that for table styling reels. Some more clear vases. Again, we used to use that for events. We have some candle holders and things like that here. We have this ceramic candle holder. We actually got these made and we never launched them. At the back here, we have the CF Chancefleur logo, and I don't think I would sell these or get rid of these. Again, like the candles thing, like I know I'm being emotional about it, and they say like as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you can't be emotional about these things, but yeah, I really wanted to launch like this line of candle holders, tapered candles, scented candles, and we got these made from ceramicist or ceramics kind of a factory. There was like it's like a really small studio, not a big factory, but because we did that, it ended up being really expensive per piece, and it's not something that we could end up selling. So we have a few of them over here. And again, this might be something that I'll just maybe take home and like just maybe use them at home, because we don't actually get too much use out of them in the office. Do we use them in the office? Yeah, we don't end up using them, so I might just take them home and use them. Down the bottom, we have some more brass items. We use these mainly for shop doors, for Chancefleur shoots initially, and they're little things that we kind of collected over the years of shooting, over the years of doing like flat lays and Diwali themed shoots. Here we have these like brass little bowls that we have, and we actually initially bought them as to do like little arrangements in for Chancefleur for like the festive season, and then we actually decided to keep them for shoots instead. We only got a small quantity just as like a sample, and then we just thought, let's just keep them to do shoots instead. Right here on the top, you guys can see that we have this velvet box. I actually got this made, a sample made in China, and then I had it brought over here so I could try and replicate a similar box in India, but it just ended up with being way too expensive here in India. If you buy something in bulk in China, it is so much more cheaper than getting it made in India. But then having things imported from China to India, like you have like almost like a 50% on some items as a custom fee. What I would usually do is, if I really couldn't find something and I couldn't sketch something out or like figure out maybe how it would work, or just in this case we just wanted like a larger piece, I would get a sample made from China and try to get it made in India. One, supporting local artists like in the area that we're in is important, and two, it just would be arriving safer. The lead time would be a little bit quicker, but at the end of the day, these were just like, again, way too expensive. And I think that's something also we really struggled with at Chancefleur, is that we really like to get things made in small quantities, like literally like 10 boxes, 20 boxes, and 30 boxes, and like repeat the order, so there was like less wastage, and that really drove up our costs. Maybe I'll make a separate video on like things that in business that I kind of like. I'm a first time business owner, like product-based business owner, and I started my business at 25 when I only had like 3 years or 4 years of work experience and no work experience with like product-based like production and operation side of businesses, only the marketing side of the business I had experience in. And yeah, this is something that was like really hard for us. So I think in our rebrand for Chancefleur, we're really trying to look at like when we're launching new products, what can we launch that's like sustainable financially, as well as like matching our aesthetics and matching like types of products that I want to put out. Let's go ahead and have a look at the last little compartment. The last little compartment that we have here, we have some more vases over here. I have this big vase here, which I think we're just gonna empty out now. It's like a big fish bowl vase, and inside we have some dried flowers in there. Also have this vase, which is from IKEA. This is actually a really nice vase from IKEA, and some plastic eucalyptus leaves, and I think again they were from Michael's, and I got them when we were doing like a lot of shoots for Chancefleur, and I just really liked how that looked. Didn't want to spend on fresh eucalyptus because they're not available in Hyderabad. You have to get them in from Bangalore, That's just really not sustainable. And then we have couple more. This is actually a sample product. This black vase over here, I actually, when I was in the UK doing my floristry course, I went to the UK flower market and I found that black vase and I thought it would be so cute to have like products, like a little shams fleur arrangement in that, and I got that to replicate and couldn't find anybody to replicate that. That was for an affordable cost. Again, like some of the problems that we have when we try to do things within India in a small range. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't have a problem, like, because things are handmade, and I don't have a problem. Like, I think it's worth kind of what you're paying for. If one person is sitting there and meticulously hand making you something, I think it's worth the price that it is worth, right? If they make it and then obviously I'm gonna market it and do all my branding and then I sell it for X amount more expensive, I do think that it's completely worth it. However, not many others thought that, especially when you had bigger brands that were importing things from China at like 10 cents per piece or 20 cents per piece or a couple of rupees or 100 rupees per piece. I really could not compete with them in like this style, and our margins were just like really low. Next, we have some of these Polaroid cameras here. I actually got both of these, funnily enough. For one of these I got for my 24th or something like that birthday, and one of these I got as a wedding present. So, and you saw in the studio tour, I also have a black one. I have a green one at home as well. So I love these cameras. All right, next here. This is actually one of our most popular products at Chancellor, and I like them, but they weren't something that I had in my home. And they were like these little glass raindrops. And at the time when we launched these, we were like one of maybe like a few companies that did a monsoon collection. Now Starbucks does it, Nike does it, Myntra does it, everybody does it. But at the time, it wasn't like a thing. Actually, like it wasn't a thing with small businesses. I think big businesses used to do it, maybe not Starbucks, but this was like part of our monsoon collection. There used to be some moss here and some flowers, and just like these, when we launched them, like flew off the shelves. Like, and whenever we do bring them back again, they just like literally fly off the shelves. We also have something similar that we launched for Christmas, and this is supposed to be like hung on your Christmas tree, or you could hang it anywhere else as well. They're these little glass baubles, and again, they always just fly off the shelf, not even during Christmas time, just like any time of the year. They do so well. They are really fragile for shipping though. Okay, this is another item that we launched at Chancellor, and we didn't end up continuing with them. They did so well, but then we ran into problems at shipping where like the flower just wasn't stable. But this is basically like a little planter, and then we had like a single rose on it, and it's supposed to be like a rose plant. They did so well, but we couldn't figure out the shipping aspect of them. And then over here are our Pampas vase. If you are an OG, if you follow me for Chancellor days, like you know exactly what this is. You might also have this in your home. This is like a beautiful, beautiful vase, and we actually got this from like a wholesaler. He makes these and a few other like vases, but this was like the best thing that he made at his thing, and he could do them in any kind of color. So I think we had them in this green, we had them in a gold, we had them in a black. And what we also did is have them, we tried to launch another collection with them where we had them in transparent, but they had like a woven rattan around them. And that was so pretty, but just too expensive to launch. Next, down the bottom, we have some of these candle kind of holders from IKEA. We use them for events. We have these ceramic vases, and we wanted to do like lots of work with this vendor, but then this vendor was a wholesaler, and he would make all of his items like in his ceramic factory, but he would sell them to a bunch of different brands. That's how obviously it's profitable for him. But then we found that all of these brands had exactly the same products that we did. So there's not really like a competitive advantage there. Like you're just competing on price and your branding there, and that's just not something, that's really something that I did not want to do. I love having like these like unique products that only we could kind of put together, and like that was my kind of brainchild of like pulling these different things and ideas kind of together. At the bottom here we have some more vases, and this is actually made by the same vendor that made the Pompous vase, and these products also did pretty well. However, a lot of his vases, like the finishing touch on them, like if you notice this, it's like completely transparent here, and we couldn't end up selling them. So when we saw the samples, they were really beautiful samples, but then when he kind of sent them to us, they look like this, and like little things like this one has like a fingerprint on it, and you can't send this to a customer, so we have a few of them also left over. At the top over there we have a giant urli. Again, we use this for Chancellor tutorials. Here in the bottom we have a bunch of photo frames that actually I think I'll get removed and kind of see what they are and what we can do with them. And this last little section here is where we have our cat food for our little kitty. I hope you guys like the tour of our prop shelves. To be honest with you, I'm feeling a little, after this video, which is a video that we wanted to do for a long time, I am so happy that I got to show everything to you guys. But now I'm also feeling a little sad because we did like a little memory tour on everything that I had for my small business. And now that, you know, we're in this process of rebranding, and you guys know I'm not sure if I want to even relaunch it again, just because I don't have the time with the baby and with Curious Chitra, with our Reels course, with our Patreon, to even relaunch Chancellor. So it just makes me so sad, because I remember those days in that office where we came up with these ideas, where we tried to film stuff, and like I remember the shoot that we had for the little raindrops that you saw, and like when I was shooting that, I had no idea what I was doing. I wanted a really like gloomy kind of a look, and I had no idea how to create that, and I remember we struggled kind of a lot with that. And which is kind of like at this point why I made my Reels course, because I struggled so much with creating content for my own business. I didn't have a lot of like budget to send it out to photographers or influencers, or at the time UGC creators were not a thing. I remember sitting in my office on my iMac at the time and creating this little book that we got printed to take to an expo for the first time, I think it was. So a lot of memories, and even the candles, like I wanted to make that work so bad, and I was so passionate about the product, but at the end of the day we just couldn't compete with the costing, and it didn't, at the end of the day it was still a colorful candle, and we didn't have a USP for it, right? So it fell down to like, there's big brands that can do it for hundreds of rupees cheaper because they're doing it in such big pieces, and we just couldn't compete with that. So I'm also a little sad, because it's just like good memories that we had, and that I miss having like that product-based business that I was so passionate about, that I loved so much, that I loved creating content around. I loved updating the website. I loved seeing the orders come in and shipping them out, and hearing the customer feedback and stuff. And if we don't end up relaunching Chancellor, I hope at least in the future I can have some kind of product-based business, because I love content creation, but I think at the end of the day, that is what I just like love the most, having my product-based business, having products that like I created and that makes other people happy, I guess. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry to end it on a little bit of a bittersweet note, I guess. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about the video, drop it down below. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.